I'm Don Sampson, this is my wife Nancy, and we're here at our new home, custom built by Golden Rule Builders. We're at the edge of Manassas, Virginia, and very happy with Golden Rule and the way they worked with us to build exactly what we wanted.
Yeah, we found Golden Rule just because of driving past their location on Route 28, and also because a neighbor's house was built by Golden Rule, and even a family member was familiar with them. And we liked the name, so that's how we ended up there. And the other thing was that Golden Rule is an actual custom builder that, or was willing to make the home add some of the unique features that we wanted to put in it.
And Golden Rule Builders, I think, really lives up to their name. The Golden Rule, of course, is that you should do unto others as you would expect them to do unto you, or to treat others as you would hope they would treat you. And Golden Rule Builders really does that. I found each step of the process all the way along, each of the employees would treat us and work with us as they would hope others would treat them, I'm sure. So really worked out very well.
So it was interesting when we went in to begin the whole process, because I had gone online and found a floor plan that fairly closely fit what we wanted, and then I literally cut it up in pieces and put it back together the way I wanted and brought it into Dennis, and Dennis made it happen. He put it into real house plans, and between him and Rami, they put all the things in that you have to put into a house, but it looks pretty darn close to what we started with on my little pencil drawing. So Dennis was extremely helpful all the way through, because he's so knowledgeable about not only the design but construction. And so when we talked about different things related to construction, he was able to speak to that very specifically, and that helped a lot. He just was really, really crucial in the whole design process. And we had some particular things in mind, maybe me more than you, as far as inside the house, but it was kind of fun process, picking out all the things that were in the house. And then Dennis was able, with the design and architecture people, to put all of our elements, the wood and things like that were on the front porches and the back patio, the mantles, all the wood that we had milled at a local sawmill, eco-friendly lumber. And they were very willing to use those products that we had cut to all different, material. And Golden Rule was very willing to have another company participate in, the whole building process and add the materials to it. And they were able to supply us with measurements and specifications for what they would need to cut out at the sawmill, and kind of work together in that way.
We had worked with another subcontractor previously at our previous home to do some landscaping work. So Golden Rule was willing to allow us to contract directly with them, the King's Masons, to do our front walkway and some other minor things. But we knew them, and we knew we wanted to just do that sort of separately. And Golden Rule was very willing to allow us to do that. But we appreciated Dennis's work all the way along, because there were some things we weren't really sure about. So he would recommend to us, and then of course always allowed us to make the final decision. But there's some things, there's so many decisions that have to be made. And typically I think a new homeowner might not know exactly what he or she wants, but Golden Rule helps with that decision process and is very patient all the way along. Well, my home office, we had eco-friendly cut some lumber and then had that milled and prepared for the construction of the home office. I guess my favorite part of the home office is my desk. It's a very wide piece of oak with live edge on both sides, and that represents a big oak tree that we took from the property. We didn't want to take down a lot of trees, but we had to make room for the house and for the drain field. So we took down a bunch of trees and had the lumber hauled off to eco-friendly lumber, and then after it was all milled and dried properly, then Golden Rule Builders took the wood and just did exactly what we wanted to do with it. So I have a nice big desk with an oak top and a elm stand that keeps the support of the desk, as well as cherry paneling along the bottom of the office and on the walls, the wainscot, and as well as a nice big mantle, custom-made mantle, and all that came from the property.
In relation to all the wood that we used from our property, we wanted to use it in various places throughout the house, including some live edge shelving. And Dave Zaremba, the master carpenter at Golden Rule, was able to work with the various pieces of wood that we had to do some live edge shelving out here in the kitchen area. And in my pantry, which is kind of also like an office for me, I had looked up some photos online of just pantries to know how to design that and what I wanted in there. And I knew that I wanted an office desk sort of area. And so they were able to do that for me with some one area that looks like an office desk. And then I wanted to be able to put all of the things. I had a tiny little pantry in the previous house, and wanted to be able to put all of not only the food but the small appliances and various things in the pantry. So got some good ideas from online and was able to put some of the very cool looking live edge shelving above my workspace in there. So that was fun to be able to see that happen. I like to use my office area for meal planning and things like that. So instead of having that out on my counter or on the kitchen table, I'm able to put it around the corner in my pantry office area.
And the master carpenter, Dave, also incorporated some cedar boards that we had milled from the property. We had some cedar trees, and we had those hauled off to eco-friendly lumber and cut into boards, and then Dave was able to use those in the lining of our closets in our master bedroom, which is a really nice feature. And I should also mention that throughout this whole process, David, who was our construction supervisor, was involved all the way along and was very good with keeping us informed of what was going on each step of the way. That's true for everyone at Golden Rule, I think. Even before we started, we were given a list of names and phone numbers and email addresses, and were encouraged to keep in touch with each of those employees each step of the way anytime we had any questions. And that was really important to us, to be kept informed of what was going on and the deadlines and all the rest of that.
Mm-hmm. That's true. We really felt like we had an advocate in David. He was very helpful and very communicative, which was just awesome. And you're right, pretty much everybody. And it's fun because after so long of a time doing your building, it's almost like the employees become part of your family, whether it's the people at the front desk or the people taking your check. You get to know a little bit about them personally, and that's fun.
And that's a real difficult job, I think, that the builder has to do, is keep in touch with the homeowner, financing, subcontractors, the county for all the permits and regulations, and Golden Rule. In this case, David was our supervisor. Just did a wonderful job with that. We designed the home so that we could have some elderly parents live with us if necessary. But we also had in mind ourselves, as we get older, to be able to live on one floor. So we designed the home so we can live on just this first floor entirely. And we do have an extra room upstairs, but that's just a guest room. We don't need to ever go up there if we don't need to. So with parents, getting older, and we'd like to have a place where we could have them live with us if they wanted to. So that was a real blessing to us to be able to design exactly what we wanted, exactly what we needed, with some features that will accommodate elderly folks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to include the doors being large enough to go through, and a couple of zero entry showers that for both us and for a parent and all of the safety features that go along with those were important for us to go ahead and put those in so we could plan for that.
Golden Rule also incorporates a lot of things just as standard equipment, you might say. If you're buying a car, sometimes you have to add on all these things, but in this case with our home, Golden Rule just installs and uses real high quality products without ever really asking us if we want to upgrade or not. They just put in the good quality products, and that will really be, I think, a benefit for us long term. We definitely recommend Golden Rule builders to anyone who's building a custom home or just doing an addition or some remodeling. They're very easy to work with, and just can't speak highly enough of them.
Yeah, I think we could earnestly say we trust them to do the right thing, that we don't have to wonder if we're getting the honest answer or, the truth about whatever's going on, that we have had full confidence in them as our builder.
Certainly, because there's, anytime you do a custom home, there's going to be some glitches along the way, some changes, some problems, or whatever might come along, but they always handle those very well.